Okay, so I just want to run through a lot of the examples with you and just talk about them as we go. Just hopefully that'll make life easier. So the first one we're looking at is 4 to the power of 3. Remember, 4 is the base and 3 is the power of the exponent. And what does it mean? It means 4 times 4 times 4. You gotta remember, mathematicians are lazy and they don't like to write out 4 times 4 times 4, especially if it was like 4 to the power of 50, 4 times 4 times 4 times 4. We don't want to do that. So you can do 4 times 4 is 16 times 4 is 64, or use your calculator over here, 4 times 4 times 4, and we get 64. Or, of course, because we're using these powers, you can use your calculator a fancy way, and it depends what calculator you're using. You often have either an X to the Y button, or this one has 4 and then little hat 3, which is the same as you'd use in Excel. So if you're going to use an Excel spreadsheet, you'd type in equals 4 little hat 3, and I'll do those a bit later. Enter, we still get 64, okay? When we're doing our powers, you got to watch out. There's some power laws we're going to talk about, you're probably reviewing, and they only really work with times and divide. When you're talking about plus, you really can't combine these guys at all in question 2. So we got to keep them separate. So 3 squared means 3 times 3 plus 4 times 4 here, okay? So careful, a lot of people are going to write 4 times 2 because they see the 2, or they're going to write 3 squared and they end up writing 6, but just be a little bit careful, okay? 3 times 3, what does that equal? 3 times 3 is 9, plus 4 times 4 is 16. Order of operations says you do all that multiplication before you can do the addition, and then 9 plus 16 equals 25, okay? The fancy calculator can do the steps for you to the finish if you want. 3 to the power of 2 plus 4 to the power of 2. Of course, you're only going to get part marks for that, but it still gives you the final answer so you can check your work. Then we get to the last one. 4 to the power of 4 times 4 squared times 4 cubed. You can't combine those together because we're just adding, so we've got to go through it the long way if you like. 4 times 4 times 4 times 4 plus 4 times 4 plus 4 times 4 times 4. So it's huge, isn't it? And then we can use a calculator if you want to, but that's how it would look to expand. That's what it means, but it really means the first one, 4 to the power of 4. We're going to try that here. 4 to the power of 4, or 4 times 4 times 4 times 4 is 256. Sorry, bad handwriting. Plus 4 squared means 4 times 4 is 16. Plus 4 cubed, we already did that one, was 64, and then we're going to add all those three together. Okay, so it's just good to know the rules about how they spread out. And then we've got 256 plus 16 plus 64, and we've got 336. Okay, so that's just our first set.